In this video, I'm going to do a tabletop review of the Smith Wesson Commando Watch, and I believe the model number is SWW-W-Henry Frank 11. Now, if you Google Smith Wesson Commando Watch, you find several different styles. And you also find several different styles of this particular watch. And the noticeable difference that I can tell, I don't know if one is a newer version than the other. I don't have that type of detailed information. But you'll notice here where the crown is, this has a full protector around it, and there's a lever right here, and I'll manipulate this later, but if we lift this lever up, we can pull out the crown and we can adjust the date and the time, and then we push the lever down and it locks against the crown and the crown doesn't move. That's the style of watch I have. There's also an identical watch that does not have this. It has a top protector up here and a top protector on the bottom, but this whole section and the lever are not there. And the crown is actually probably twice as thick as that. So there's two versions of this particular style of Commando watch as well. I'll just give you some background on why I bought this watch, and let's see. Normally I don't go for tactical bling. That's not stuff that I buy. My watches primarily consist of, I've got automatic Seikos, I've got Rolexes, I've got some Timexes and some Casio G-Shocks and watches like that. So I have some bling watches, and I have everyday watches, and I have some more useful watches. If you know that if I'm jogging or something, I may have a lap counter and things like that. So I have watches for different purposes. I don't normally buy tactical watches or anything tactical to wear on a daily basis per se. I see people. It's funny. I was at the mall the other day. I see people quite often that are decked out from head to toe in tactical gear, and if I'm at the range or something, that's one thing, but if I'm shopping at the mall, I don't see the need for wearing a Shima in the mall, and that's just me though. Anyway, interesting story behind this particular watch. I'll try to make it short and then get on to the guts about the watch. I buy a lot of items off of eBay, and I was actually doing a daily search for some items that I need, and came across this watch listed as a pre-owned watch. Now, it wasn't advertised in a way that you would have normally found it on eBay. When you do a search on eBay and you put in Smith & Wesson watch, the default search is to search the subject line of the auctions. There is a way you can have your search include those keywords in the body copy, but that's not by default. So this watch was advertised as, I don't remember if it was advertised as a tactical watch or just a military watch, but it didn't say Smith & Wesson. And I came across it, saw that it had a 99-cent starting bid, and I've seen the watch before. I like the look of the watch. These have a retail of anywhere from $50 to $75. So I throw these types of things into two different. I throw a watch like this into one specific category. It's a want item. It's not a need item. It's a want item. So, given that I don't need it, I wasn't going to pay $50 to $75 for it. I kind of want it. So when I came across this auction with a 99-cent starting bid, no reserve, I knew these watches sold for 50 to 60 new, or 50 to 75 new. I figured this would probably sell for 30 or 40 used, and it was listed as only being worn a couple of times in like new condition, but no box. Hence why it's on my stand right here and with a piece of foam holding it up. So I threw in I think I threw in a $15 bid on it, and went about my business. And when this auction closed, I got a notification that I won the auction, and I won this watch for $1.25. Yeah, $1.25 and $5 for shipping. So I got this out the door shipped for $6.25. So I can afford to spend $6.25 on a want item. So that's the story behind it. That sort of thing doesn't happen too often on eBay nowadays, but once in a while these situations pop up, and you can grab a deal. So anyway, back to the Smith & Wesson watch. Obviously for $50 to $75, this is not a high-end watch. It is made overseas. It is a quartz movement. I have not taken it apart, so I haven't verified any of the internal workings. Supposedly it's a Japanese quartz movement, probably a Mayato, or that's one of the more popular Japanese quartz movements used in inexpensive watches. Reliable, runs on a battery, obviously. So let's see. This particular watch has a rubber strap on it. The band's made out of some sort of rubberized material with a metal clasp. And it has obviously standard time. It has a small date window at the 3 o'clock position. It has 24-hour markers on it. The numbers and dots in green actually illuminate. It's nothing fancy. I believe it's charged by the light, and then it will glow for 30, 45 minutes, an hour, something like that. So in low light situations, if the watch has been exposed to light, and you can make out the time on it. The hands also illuminate and glow in the dark. The crystal is some sort of glass, probably not a sapphire crystal or anything heavy duty. The case back is stainless steel. It's listed as being water resistant to 30 meters. I wouldn't test that if you buy one of these. The case diameter is 1 3/4 inches or 46 millimeters. With the crown and this protector right here, it's about 2 inches this way, and obviously 1 3/4 inches that way. The thickness is about 1/2 inch, and the weight is listed as 100 grams. One of the other things about this watch is I don't normally buy these large face watches. This thing is huge. Well, to me it's huge. I have a smaller frame, so I normally will buy watches that have anywhere between a 30 to 40 millimeter overall diameter, something that's more in line with my wrist. This at 46 millimeters, or 46 or close to 50 millimeters, is pretty big for my wrist. So if you're a larger framed person, this is probably a great fit for you. But if you're on the smaller side like me, it's kind of borderline on stuff that I'm comfortable with wearing. I will admit though that the band has enough holes in it to fit my small wrist. So if I go cinch it down to the smallest setting, it actually fits my wrist quite well. I don't have to punch any holes in the band, and that's a good thing. Not that it would be overly difficult to punch holes in this band if you needed to add one, because it is kind of a rubberized material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and show you this lever mechanism here. Although this is the one thing you can hear this. I just kind of touch it. When I'm wearing this and your wrist moves around, this lever bar moves a little bit and makes this noise. I do find that kind of annoying, but you know, it's not really a deal breaker for me. Anyway, if we pull up on this, you can see it kind of moves up out of the way. It doesn't really lock out of the way because there's a little mini roll pin right there. So you can move it out of the way, and then you can pull out on the crown to adjust it. And there's two stops on the crown. The first stop allows you to adjust the date, and if you pull it out further, it will allow you to adjust the time. And also, when you pull it out to the second setting, the watch actually pauses. So if you were going to store this for long term, you could pull this out to the second stop and it actually stops the watch from working. So and to lock this down, we just push on it and it locks down. So the noise is kind of a bummer. I haven't caught this on anything, a sleeve or anything like that, to pop this out, so I don't know if this is going to be problematic as I wear this watch more. So you can see the clasp down here. It's some sort of a black anodized metal. It has a Smith Wesson logo down there. And you can see how many holes are in the band. When I wear it, I put it all the way down on the smallest setting. There's also two band holders, two rubberized band holders, so you can tuck the band up in there. And for me, I need both of these because I have a lot of excess band left over when I put this on. And you can see the case back here. Well, hopefully you can see it. Stainless steel case back, Smith & Wesson 30 meter water resistance. You can actually even see that the protective case sticker is still on the back here. It's a little piece of clear plastic with a red line through it. Normally you take these off when you buy a watch. This one is still on there, and I've just left it on there to protect the case back. So obviously the previous owner there was no scratches or dings or anything like that on this particular watch. So this person probably got it as a gift, or I don't know what, tried it on, didn't like it, decided to sell it, and didn't put a reserve on it. I don't have any problems with this rubberized band. It's fairly comfortable. I haven't had any complaints with it. It hasn't, you know, this clasp is suitable, holds the band in place. So aside from that noise, that's the only derogatory thing I can really say about this. Again, I wouldn't really consider this a military quality watch. It's a military style watch. Have no idea if this painting on the outer casing is going to last. So, you know, only time will tell. Since I just recently got this, I've only had a chance to wear it a dozen or so times, and you know, I have not taken the back off. I don't believe I've got the proper tools for doing that. I've got Rolex tools, but not tools for popping off case backs like this. So in a situation like that, I'd normally take it to a watch repair center and have them replace the battery for me. So anyway, that's kind of my review on this. Just putting the watch on. Now, keeping in mind that I have a small frame, and I put the watch, I put on the smallest setting, and it's pretty big on my wrist. So you can see I don't have a really large wrist here, so that's kind of what it looks like on my wrist for the most part. So I'm still trying to get used to this because I've never owned a watch this large. Most of my Rolexes are not, you know, GMTs or diver watches, so they're not the huge ones. They're the normal sized ones that fit my wrist better. So anyway, I don't have much else to add on this about this watch at this point. You know, if I was to buy this and pick it up for $30–40, I'd actually still think this is a good buy. I like the looks of this watch, you know, but yeah, I can't think of anything else to add on this. So I'm going to wrap this video up, and that'll conclude the Smith & Wesson Commando Watch, model number SWW-W-HF11.